Well, hello there, folks, and welcome to session 89 of the Tides of Chaos. I am, of course, your DM of Doom, Son of Asgard, or World Tree Quests here on Twitch. And with me today, we have got 3 of 4 of my lovely cast here. We have got Big Gilly Styles, we've got Ruthless Rogue, and we've got Charlie 182.0. Just Dan is not going to be joining. I love how I called him Just Dan, even though he has no social media name. Like, I just went with it. Dan's not going to be joining us today. Dan has a family event to go to. So, Dan, we wish you the best. We hope you're having a great time. And we'll try not to have too much fun without you. We'll try not to die without you, let's be honest. I don't have any housekeeping, I don't think. Reminder to everybody to pay attention. Aiming for the beginning of May, our new mini-campaign, Welcome to the Academy, is going to be starting over the course of the next month. I'm going to start releasing little snippets of players and characters that are going to be in that campaign on our social medias. If you want to follow our social medias, just go to any social media, type in World Tree Quests. We've probably got it. Other than that, I'm going to move on, and I'm going to go straight to asking the question this party is never prepared for. Guys, what the fuck happened last session?
I found my mom.
You did indeed find your
I was
mother.
raised to be sacrificed.
Did we actually find your mother, or did we just find your mother's cult?
We found her cult.
Yeah.
But we know she's here.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I recall, session started off with kind of just general RP conversations.
Yes.
There was a conversation. I remember the stuff that I did most. There's a conversation between Leonid and Silas on morality and ethics that ultimately ended with Silas giving Leonid the Magic Be Good book that Leonid's going to read. Then I also remember Silas and Tallis had a conversation about matricide and family and found family. Such a cute trope. And that's what I remember before traveling to like the swamp area. If there was more than that, I don't remember that.
So I don't remember there being massively more than that. I believe it being mostly, as this party is wont to do, conversations about how are we approaching this when we go here, what can we expect. Silas, you did a scry, what did you see, where are we going to be stepping into it, before you guys did the travel via plants.
Yes. We got to the swamp. We found that this was a whole town that was really shit on by something. Sucks. It's pretty torn down, it's run down, but there are guards positioned everywhere wearing a specific crest that I believe only Tallis recognized as her family name crest, right?
No, it was I knew it was like a cult symbol or some shit like that.
It was a symbol that you recognized from your past. You remembered it being around the village that burned.
Yes, but I don't remember what it means.
No, you do not.
Okay. Tallis was super cool and sneaky and caught this guard up in her whip who was not gonna fight her anyway and kept trying to convince her to join them and that she was the chosen one and that her blood would grant the way to ascend.
Guys, am I gonna be a cult leader?
No.
I mean, you could take over the cult.
I could.
This could be some
guess you
Astarian
could.
shit, babe.
I'm just gonna kill my mom and take over the cult.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why not? We can take all the cults we can handle. We can have the cult of Jasix, or I guess the cult of Gorthrax. We can have the I guess that would be the only other one. I don't know.
You
Does
could have,
Leda
We can
Tallis
make as
count
many
a
as we
cult?
want.
you could have the cult of Gortharak. You could have, I mean, realistically, you could say that the Kokiri could be turned very easily into being a cult.
Technically, Layan and I have the groundwork laid for a cult
You kind of do.
because we were basically gods.
We've went
This is a really
slowly
interesting
away
thing to
from
talk
we've
about.
went slowly
I-
away from being pirates and turned into we're here for the cult stuff. This is no longer the Tides of Chaos. This is Cult of the Lamb. I've still not played that game. I have that. I've never played it.
Yeah, but Tallis's blood, it paves the way to ascension, basically.
Yes.
And so we were like, great, well, Tallis, we have to go in there. Do you want to go in there, like, cool and sneakily and form a plan? And Tallis cast Fireball. So we walked in, we had a little combat encounter outside the excavation site in the church, finished that up, and now there's demonic whispers in Infernal coming out of the hole.
You know,
And I think it's the one time that we don't want to jump into a hole, but we have to.
Tallis, for somebody that has no levels in Wizard, you do a whole lot of Wizard shit, i.e. I don't care how big the room is, I cast Fireball.
I cast Wall of Fire last session, not Fireball.
I'm
Just
sorry.
to clarify.
I'm sorry, but when it comes to Tallis, if it does fire damage, I just picture Fireball.
She's also
fair.
the book reader. Like, Tallis is the book reader, the
Yeah.
Fireball caster.
I remember several times pining for your long lost love, just sitting in his office and just reading his books, just like, I miss my boyfriend, not boyfriend.
But it was also because now he's not here. He can't tell me not to touch the books.
He also said you were allowed to read them, like. Yeah, so we ended with combat being resolved. You fought a group of these cultists who, after the combat, after bringing a few of them down to a certain level, they took out these red stones with that same infernal sigil carved on it, and they sharpened stones and almost like plunged them into their chest, and became going from these white clothed cultists into these scarlet enrobed, more powerful cultists. But yeah, they did seem very intent on Tallis coming with them. They sought to, they didn't really seem to try and do a lot of damage to Tallis. It was more like, they need you alive. So for whatever reason, Tallis, you were left untouched in that combat. While the others were targeted. But that almost fell into your favour, because while you weren't being targeted, you were just being like, well, eat fire, fuckers, like, boom. It was after that you kind of put two and two together, realised that you were raised as a lamb to the slaughter. This was your intent. Not your intent, this was your mother's intent. You were raised to be sacrificed in this manner.
What a bitch.
I mean, what a cunt, right? I mean...
Yeah.
You want to at least give your children the option before you sacrifice them.
Right?
And on top of that, when these white clothed cultists were killed, there was a D100 rolled where you were able to recognise the clothing they had on, and you realised the people in that village that you burned down the last time somebody tried to sacrifice you, they were wearing these clothes, which led you to the understanding that the guilt that Tallis had kind of secretly, because nothing Tallis does is a secret because there is transparent as a window. I'm definitely not feeling guilt. Yeah, okay, that's why you've avoided everybody that wears white. So you were able to discern.
I only work in
you were
black
able to discern that
very
they,
dark shades of grey.
You were able to discern that they were in fact cultists of the same cult. So that guilt was kind of lifted in that moment of, well, those fuckers deserved it. And yeah, just as Charlie said, at the end of that combat, that chanting started to come, and it was confirmed by Tallis that it was infernal. It was, your kind of standard chanting of some kind of religious cult. The blood is the key, the blood is the answer, the blood will lead to her rise. That's
Creepy.
what it chanted. However, we do leave off with you guys standing, there are now 10 dead cultists around you. And that chanting is still coming from that excavated pit about 100 feet ahead of you.
Okay.
What would you guys like to do here?
Quick side note, Lane is going to be joining us in a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he just messaged in the thingy that stuff is wrapping up, so he'll probably be in like 30 minutes to an hour or so. So he might be able to catch some of this.
Oh, that would be
Use
great.
Healing spells.
Right?
That would be fantastic. We might have a Dan.
We might.
Have a just. Damn.
I mean, we have to go in this hole, right? Like, that's our option, so... Tallis is just gonna kind of look at the dead bodies, look at the hole, and just be like, you know what? Fuck it. One last time. And then just kind of jump in the hole.
Okay.
I mean, we've done it with everyone.
Hold on, though. Do I still... Oh, yes. Before she, like, as she's jumping in the hole, she'll cast Featherfall on everybody.
Okay.
Because who knows how deep this is.
I think it's still going to be fairly anticlimactic, because as you jump in the hole casting Featherfall, you will float ever so elegantly down about 50 feet.
Okay.
Where you will land in amongst all this kind of like dug up loose debris. Like I said, this is swampland, so
Yeah.
there's lots of like wooden structures that have been placed up against the sides of this to keep the ground from pushing back in. But what you land next to is about a 20-foot tall archway, carved of. From a glance away, you would think it to be very high quality black marble, but it looks more like if you've ever seen like obsidian when it's just been cracked open, and it's that like black glass, but it could be, you know, anything could be lurking inside that glass. It's got that kind of reflective sheen on it. Pristine, even though it's been under 30 feet of dirt. This archway is pristine. Two large doors made of the same material are opened. They have obviously been opened and something has went inside beforehand. It leads to a staircase of deep grey slate stone. And another thing you will note here, Tallis, is as you land in this hole, whereas usually when you would go underground, the temperature would kind of, at least for the beginning parts, get colder. As you get, like, it is very warm. Like, immediately, okay. It's like stepping off the plane in Florida. Like, it's so...
Ugh.
It's that humid heat.
Muggy.
Yes, yes.
Everyone's favorite weather.
Oh my god, like, the worst memories I have of visiting my cousins in Fort Lauderdale was getting off the plane. You ever want to see me? You ever want to see me shut down? See me step off a plane into America? I immediately go from that was a lovely, and I just go, oh my god, what the fuck? This is too warm.
You guys following?
J6 gonna look over to Silas and more holes.
We can see the bottom of this one. That's an improvement. Silas will jump in.
J6 gonna jump down.
Okay.
We'll drag.
Leonid doesn't get a choice.
Leonid will float elegantly down.
Of course, like probably playing as
pirouetting and
whatever mandolin. Yeah, exactly.
He performs like what is it? Oh god, what's the word for it? An interpretive dance as he falls.
Looks like he's
and as he lands, he's doing this like graceful, and so the swan dies.
But then his foot slips in the mud and he bites the dust. No, yeah.
Leonid mistakes never.
Leonid fall after an interpretive dance never.
Nah.
But yeah, Leonid does join you, and you guys are now in front of this archway. It is incredibly dark inside. There does not seem to be any light source. But from the light that's coming down from the outside, you can see that this staircase that is here goes down and curves round. It is a coiled staircase. However, there is no light source. So if you don't have dark vision, you're in for a rough time. Unless, does everybody have their moving buddies?
I have dark vision.
I got the dark vision.
I also have dark vision, so I think that, and so does Leonis.
And I
think
do
that we're
believe
all-
half-elves also have dark vision, so
Yeah.
everybody will see it in grayscale.
Ooh, hold on. I only have. Did I got dark vision from something?
You had goggles.
So I have the goggles of night, but I have them unequipped because I got dark vision from something.
Was it a
Like a blessing or
paladin
something.
feature? Or
No, it's not a paladin. It's not like a feature. That's what I'm just trying to find. It was something to do with like Satyrus and stuff. So I'm just trying to find.
I think it's when you took the step into being the Oath of Glory paladin. Satyrus gave you certain blessings because he blessed Pinchy, and then I'm fairly sure he blessed you and gave the ability to something along the lines of like darkness would never stop your pursuit of glory.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if it's in my features or notes. Because I know I took off the goggles just because I didn't need them anymore. Yeah. I think you're right, Bran.
Either way, you have dark vision.
Yes. I mean, the only way from here, it's just the staircase. Like, that's it. That's our option.
Yep, that's it.
Fuck
Staircase
it. Going down the stairs.
Alright, well, let's continue further down. I'm
He
gonna
says,
have...
like, he's in charge of this.
I am in charge, damn it. I'm gonna have Toothy in glaive form ready to go.
Okay, Two-Face switches into that glaive form with a sound of like turful light flood of rare munchings and crunchings. Toothy's very excited to be eating a meal that has not been overcooked. Yourself, go for it.
Tallis, I might recommend tucking away your blood vial. It seems that your blood is a lot more valuable of a resource here than it is elsewhere.
Brand, if I'm not, like, if I still have the blood vial with me, but I'm not wearing it, like, as a necklace, does that, like, make me unattuned? Like, can I, like, shove it in my boots and I'm still able to use its power?
So attunement is more, it's not like, so there's a reason you don't attune to most weapons. It's because you pick up a +2 greatsword and the +2 greatsword. But attuning to an item is more like it's that extra bit of security. You could leave this on the ship and walk away from it. You're still attuned to it.
Oh.
Unless it specifies, well, you're attuned to this and have it on your person.
It said, okay, so...
Is it the blood vial necklace?
Yes, you can use the vial as a spellcasting focus for your spells while wearing or holding it.
Yep.
Ooh, there you go.
So that's just basically telling you that, hey, while you're holding this, you can use it as the focus for your spells. That's
Okay.
not saying you have to have a hold of it. Let me go and check the wording just to see if there's any fucky-wucky bits.
But also there's a fun fact. They can't open the vial anyway.
Yes,
because
they
it can't be
Ooh.
it can't be opened while I'm attuned to it.
But they can
So-
break it.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sure they could do that. So
yeah.
she's gonna slip the necklace, like kind of take it off, and just she's gonna tie it around the laces of her boot, but put it on the inside.
Yeah, so all it says here is that If you're wearing it or holding it, you can use it as spellcasting focus, and if you're wearing it or holding it, you gain a bonus to spell attack rolls and to saving throw DCs of your sorcerer spells. So your attunement won't end if you take it off.
Okay.
But if it's not on your person somewhere, I'm not going to be an asshole DM. If you were to tie it around the handle of your whip, I'll still count that as you having it on you.
Okay.
So if you were to tie it around the handle of your whip, that would be fine. But if you were to, like, guys, I'm just going to bury this outside the front of this.
Oh, yeah, no. It'll still be
you would still be
on
attuned,
her person.
but you wouldn't gain the benefits of it.
Yeah. No,
So
I'm just gonna...
The blood vial vial, you do have to have it on your person to gain the benefits of it. Your blood vial is a +1 blood vial?
+1. Yeah.
I looked over at Gil and I saw Strahd instead.
Wait,
Freaked me out
what?
for a second. No, you were drinking wine, and it was just like, oh yeah, it's Strahd there. No, you just looked. You had the like forlorn gaze.
The gaze.
I do
No.
love my gaze forlorn. I do love my gaze forlorn.
Yeah, don't we all, man?
Don't we all?
Forlorn gaze.
So, Tallis, Silas has, suggested that you tuck your bloodwell vial away. Where do you want to go with that?
So, like, she's gonna take it off of her neck, and she's gonna lace, like, basically tie the necklace around the laces of her boots, and tuck the actual vial in her boot. So it's like...
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
That way it's still on her, but nobody sees it.
Completely understood. So, you tuck it away inside your boots, you'll still gain the benefits of that. Anything else you guys want to do as you're descending down this staircase?
I think that's it. Safety's covered. We're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And don't touch things, especially of the sharp variety. Try to let other people get stabbed first.
Are you... Don't touch sharp things.
Uh-huh.
How frequently am I touching things that I'm messing things up? Half the time it's just that I'm blowing something up that's an issue.
I've
Honestly,
seen you mess up quite a few
Leonid.
things you've
Okay,
touched.
go fuck yourself, Silas.
Faulkner being one of them.
And we're done. And she's gonna start down the stairwell.
Okay.
And
being
for the
honest.
record, he was fucked up before I touched him.
Not that I rush to my player's defense or anything, but Tallis does have a valid point.
A very good point.
It's a very valid point. If anything, Faulkner has improved since meeting this party.
Right.
I would like to remind this party that before he met this party, his best friend was a rabbit.
Aww.
And the rabbit didn't like him all that much.
Damn.
You descend the staircase, you're walking down this staircase for what feels like a constant, like 10, 15, 20 minutes. Before eventually you get to the bottom. At this point, you are all head to toe drenched in sweat. Like, it's not to the point where we're using the rules for extreme heat, but it is definitely uncomfortable humidity and heat. The only one who would be uncomfortable, who would be comfortable in this Tallis, is yourself. You're not fazed by this heat. You can definitely feel it, but it does not have the adverse effect on your body. I mean, like, at this point, Silas's curls would be, like, plastered to their forehead. Jasek's hair on his legs is, like, dripping. Like...
Gross.
I do
Excuse me.
I do really mean it when I say, like, sweat is lashing from you guys at this point. It is incredibly, well, like a combination of, like, condensation and sweat. Like, it's very humid and very warm.
That's fun for you guys.
Leonid would not be pleased here.
Isn't he
hotter than
partially made
Leonid.
of water though? Like, doesn't he just get to kind of like, you know, shrug it off?
He
Like,
swells. He swells.
Exactly,
out of
he swells. Silas is going to take off this amulet that he was given a while back that switches between it can be fire resistance at the cost of cold vulnerability,
Yes.
or cold resistance at the cost of fire vulnerability.
The amulet of fire and ice, yes.
Yeah, he's gonna keep it on the fire setting and just put it over Jasek's neck,
Okay.
and say that should help with the heat aspect.
Okay. Didn't I have? I had the fire resistance thing.
Oh, did you? Did you already have
'Cause
something for that?
Yeah, because we got it when we were in the elemental plane of fire.
Fire.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't have the attunement space for it. That's why
Ah ha ha ha.
I can't use it.
Hardy har har.
Yeah, there you go. This is a non-attunement item.
So not something that was originally planned for it, but you know what? I like the gesture, so I'm going to give it that. Jacek, as this necklace is put over your neck, the humidity is still there, but the heat is no longer fierce and pounding upon you. Now it's simply the condensation and the humidity that is weighing on you. Silence.
about
You
you?
immediately start sweating buckets.
No. I like the heat. I'm a druid. Besides, we can't have you getting any hotter. You'll make Leonid insecure.
I'm canonically hotter than Leonid right now because he's a swelled up, sweaty mess.
Again, not that I want to ever be seen to be showing favoritism with players, but I would like to remind you, Tallis, that we did roll a competition to see who was hotter.
No.
Leonid
I recognize
did
that.
win.
But right now,
Yeah, but what if he's
he's
swollen?
a swollen, sweaty mess.
But what if he's swollen like the water elemental from the Disney movie Elemental, where he's swollen but it's swole so that he's jacked?
Nope. Leonid's not here to defend himself, and therefore I get to decide.
Oh, do you know? Or are you now the DM? Is that how that's happening? Right, okay. At the bottom of the staircase, you guys come to a door. Again, this door is made of that black obsidian glass. There's a barely noticeable seam down the middle. What would you like to do?
So it's made of glass. Is it see-through? Sorry.
No, so it's obsidian, so it's completely opaque, but it is definitely like a glass-like substance and material.
And we haven't seen anyone or anything on our way down.
Nope. And while you've been coming down, the volume of the chanting has not changed.
So since the chanting's in Infernal, remind me, what is the chanting again?
The blood is the answer. The blood is the key. The blood will lead to her rise.
Okay. Well, I'm not trying to be delicate here. I don't even... Do I have something I can smash the glass with? Probably magic.
Maybe.
That is always an option.
Magic solves a lot of our problems.
True.
The party
Have you
does
tried-
also have in their possession a Jacek.
I mean, yeah, I can always just smash it down.
Smash. I'm scared it's magic, and you're gonna try to like break it and get sucked into it instead. We're just gonna be like, oh no!
Jacek becomes the door.
Right, it wasn't a mirror, it was a painting. He's stuck in it now.
Fucking Slanesh and his paintings.
Tallis is gonna go up to the glass door and just kind of gently push. Like, can she feel like a lot of resistance if she's just very gently pushing on it?
Absolutely not. You put your hand on it and it's like where you touch, there's like a flicker of flame around your hand. And the door moves of its own accord and opens.
Oh. What the fuck?
I told you not to touch anything, but maybe don't listen to me.
Oh, maybe touch things now? Okay.
I'm only
Sorry,
looking out for you.
Sorry,
Sorry,
I'm a little testy. You know, I just found out that I was raised to be killed for a cult, so, you
Of
know.
course, I'm just trying to fill the role of that your absent mother left behind. Don't worry.
I don't think you want to fill that role. It's not a role that anyone should want to be in. It's
Loving you and caring for you?
disgusting.
I
Don't.
disagree. Yeah. Okay.
As the door opens up inside, there is a fair-sized room, about a 40-foot total diameter square room. Ahead of you is another archway. This one easily, the same size as the entranceway you came into. 20 foot tall. These doors are much more detailed, and they have large knockers hanging from what appears to be like the form of some female, definitely devilish figure with their hands outstretched, and the rings of the knockers around their hands. The split of the door coming right down the middle of them. But in the centre of this room is a pedestal with a book. The book is bound in red leather with black iron clasps and edging.
Is the pedestal with the book like the only thing in the room?
Only thing in the room.
Does someone want to go make sure that's not magic? I want to touch it.
Silas will step up to it. Is the statue that you mentioned of a notable demon like Glacia or
I mean, you can make an Arcana check on it. Jacek and Silas, I'm going to say it will be at disadvantage.
I get advantage on those.
Tallis, you do get advantage because you have read up on the the denizens of the Nine Hells.
I think I have a note in here somewhere that says.
And it's because you read the book that Faulkner got for you. And again, to note, it's not a statue; it's etched into these large doors.
Etched into it.
What large knuckles you have?
I also read the book that Jacek got for Tallis on the Hells, but I don't know if that would be included.
No, it's not the book that.
Yeah, it was on the Lairs, not on the
book that Faulkner got was an incredibly rare, incredibly specific book. Because that was his way of being like, hey, like I kind of like your face. That's Faulkner used to be a bard. That's his idea of flirting. I kind of like your face. I kind of like your face. Have a book. You can tell I don't play bards. Even when I make my NPCs good at flirting, I don't know how to actually portray them being good at flirting. And that, children, is autism. Arcana checks. Jacek.
I got a 13. That was with disadvantage.
Silas with the disadvantage.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Tallis.
17 with advantage.
17. Okay, so Tallis, you're not going to be able to recognize this. None of you are going to be able to recognize this particular devil.
Fair enough.
Even for Tallis, that was an incredibly high DC.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I only have a +5 to Arcana anyway.
Okay, so in that case, I do apologize. I thought Tallis' Arcana check was higher than that. Tallis, you would not have been able to recognize this devil even with an nat 20.
Oh jeez.
DC on that was a 27.
Oof.
Ooh,
yeah, no.
I would have gotten that on 17 with disadvantage. Yeah. So then I'll pop a detect magic slot to look at the book.
Okay, you
see if it's magic and what kind.
Are you ritual casting that, or are you just like straight up using the spell slot?
We don't have 10 minutes. I'm just gonna pop that out. Just first level spell slot.
What is but a first level spell slot? Take it and one for yourself. So you cast detect magic, and there's not really a school of magic around this that you recognise, but you do get this fiery aura around this book. This book is infernal all over it. Like, you've used detect magic on the Book of Exalted Deeds, the Book of Vile Darkness. It gives off that type of power, that level of power, but whereas the Book of Vile Darkness was abyssal in origin and the Book of Exalted Deeds was celestial in origin, this is all out fire, bone and blood. This is all infernal energy in this book.
I feel like you just kind of like want to get it as far away from you, just take it.
You know, like, genuinely, Silas is just gonna back up and go, yeah, no, that's for the Scorched Earth policy enforcement to take care of. That's not a druid book. That's...
Tallis is gonna just walk up to the pedestal. I'm not gonna pick the book up, but I am gonna open it.
Okay. You reach out and you touch the book, and as soon as your fingers grace the leather, that black iron clasp,
Alright, this is getting creepy.
and as the book opens, it is written completely in Infernal. And it's written with an ink that maybe at one point was red, but has now turned a kind of rusted brown on the pages.
Okay. Right, everyone got a couple of minutes? I'm gonna pilfer through this very quickly.
Yeah, no, of course. I'm sorry, did you say that this is getting creepy?
I mean, a door just opened because I touched it, and now a book just opened because I touched it.
I've been creeped out since we arrived in the desecrated swamp with the demonic chanting coming out of the pit, but
I mean,
okay.
That's a normal Tuesday for some of us.
You understand, you sort of have, like, blood magic connected to this place, right?
I'm starting to get that. And it's a little creepy, like I said. And then she's just whatever. And she just starts flipping through the pages of the book.
Okay, now are you skimming or are you reading?
I'm gonna read.
Okay.
You guys can twiddle your thumbs for a little bit if you want.
Now, Tallis, what I'm going to need you to do is, as you are reading it, now you said you're spending a couple of minutes reading this?
Yeah.
Okay. So, for the sake of brevity, I'm going to boil this down to 3 wisdom saves. Okay?
Okay.
First wisdom save, they will escalate in severity as you read, but each one you
Okay.
pass, regardless, each one that you make, you will gain information. But other things will come from it. So, make me your first wisdom saving throw, please, Tallis.
Okay.
You are infernal, so you will get advantage on these wisdom saving throws.
Well, that might help a little bit.
Tallis,
Wait.
if it's bad, just look at the camera. Don't say the result, because then I can give you a bonus.
I get I get like a +5 to saving throws with JSIC, right?
To saving throws, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as
Not ability checks.
So as wisdom saving throws that Tallis is making.
Okay.
Ah.
Alright, so the first one was, what's 18 plus 5? 23? 23.
23. 23 is a success. So as you start reading this, you understand that this book is... The book's name, the title of it, is The Book of Blood and Fire. The beginning of it basically lines out what this book is. This book is a noted history of magic, rituals, and sacrificial ordinances that have been allowed through the annals of the 9 hells. Essentially, everything in this book is things that devils themselves do not usually do, but in particular circumstances, devils have been allowed to. Devils and their followers have been given permission to do it by Asmodeus himself.
Okay.
So that's the outline of what it is. Basically, this book can teach you certain magics, certain rituals, and certain practices that most lay people of the Nine Hells and, you know, common practitioners and cultists would not have standard access to.
Okay.
So from that, you will know this book is very much like the Book of Vile Darkness, the Book of Exalted Deeds. This is a book that, you know, you're not just going to find it in your average bookshop. This is a very, very rare and very powerful piece of infernal literature you're dealing with. Your second wisdom saving throw, please.
Okay.
Well, I guess would you continue reading after that?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
she's going to. This might end up bad, but I guess we'll see.
Yes?
13?
Oh.
Wait, hold on. No. Don't tell me whatever the result is yet, Bran. Give me a second. Because I have something. Where is it? Sorry, I'm trying to find my thingy on it.
It's alright, take your time. At this level, there's so much on character sheets.
I know.
It can be slightly overwhelming trying to find that. While you hunt that down, Jacek and Silas, while Tallis is reading this book, what are you guys doing in this room?
So she just decides to start reading the book, and
Yep.
Jasek's like, I guess it's best to learn as much as we can. Is there anything else in the room that might be, anything we can kind of like, I wouldn't say research, but kind of investigate?
Make me an investigation check.
Oh boy, let's do an investigation check.
Do an
Am I
investigation.
allowed to say that Leonid would bardically inspire me? If he was here, he would totally do that.
I think it would be safe to say that Leonid would bardic inspire you. I will take a note that he's lost one use of his bardic inspiration.
His is a D10, right?
At this level, I believe it is a D10, yes.
Okay.
I
Sorry,
just
go ahead.
got a nat 20 for a 22.
Ooh.
So, well, it's a nat 20. It's still a nat 22.
Okay, so a 22 for yourself with a nat 20. What about yourself, Silas? Are you also investigating?
I like investigating. I don't know how good I am at it, but I like it.
Yeah, I'm not very good at it, but I did it.
Aww, I love our duality.
Just roll that one. Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say you also got a nat 20, and I was like, no freaking way!
No. 5. I'm investigating Jason.
Okay, while Jacek is checking out the room, you're checking out Jacek.
Hey.
Quite so.
He
Fair enough.
looks fantastic in this.
Oh, I know. And he has the amulet now, so he's not like drenched in sweat like he was. Like
Yeah.
he's just
It's the right amount of sweat. Hold on, it's the right amount of sweat.
Yeah.
You know, as he leans in to look at the wall, and he's like, "Oh God, my hair's
Right.
on my face."
Has like a hand on his
yeah.
chin, like brushing through, like just tosses his hair
Jason-
back. Just...
Yeah, Jason goes down to look at something and then like comes back up and flips his hair back in a perfect
No, and
I don't know,
Silas is just gonna
spiral.
his hands are just gonna like go to where he's gonna start braiding all of Jasek's hair back into like this half up, half down bun, like just casually, like
Silas,
not even thinking about it.
Fucking
Yeah.
this way.
Oh, sorry. Moving like with him while still holding his hair. What do you see? You're doing great, babe. You have really soft hair. Did I give you this conditioner?
It's, to be honest, I thought it was just the sweat.
Make
Whatever.
your hair soft?
I
Tallis,
don't
do you
know.
have your total?
22.
22.
I got a 9 on the bardic inspiration.
A 22 is going to be enough.
Oh, good.
So with that second one, as you continue on, you see here that this book, were you to be someone who took magic from studies, this book would actually teach you new schools of magic. Specifically, we teach you spells of necromancy and sangromancy, or hemomancy as it's sometimes known, blood magic. However, your magic comes from innate sensations or it comes from your creative mindset. Essentially, mechanically, if you were a wizard, you could learn the spells inside this book. However, what I will give you this mechanically as well is I will also allow this book to be used if Tallis were to decide, yeah, do you know what? Shit, fuck it, like I'll start studying books to learn it. So, if Tallis were to decide, you could also use this to take those steps into wizard or swap levels out for steps into wizard in order to learn these spells. However, you do need to be a wizard in order to learn them. You can certainly understand this is definitely blood magic that's being worked here. There is descriptions in here of spells that draw the blood out of someone's body, essentially exsanguinating them. There is descriptions of a spell here which is very much almost like you point at someone and you just speak the infernal word for blood and their blood assaults them. And there's another spell here which involves essentially if you kill someone with a spell, you utilize their blood in a defensive capability.
We have so much gold.
There is a lot of hemomancy within this book that could be learned. This comes into your third and final wisdom saving throw as you turn the page again.
Okay.
Third and final saving throw.
Okay. 19.
Ooh.
I'm gonna use Cosmic Omen. Roll a d6. Add to that.
Okay. Watch it be a 1.
Don't say things like that.
It was a
The
5.
dice gods will listen. Okay.
The 24 total now.
With the DC,
Thank you, Charlie.
With the DC of that final wisdom save, the highest one of them being a DC 23.
Wow.
You succeed on that final one.
Sweet.
You come across a ritual here. A ritual that involves sacrificing the blood of the 7th infernal heir.
Oh.
Dummy.
This ritual would be utilised to bring around, from what it said here, something called the Blood Singer. As you go further into the book, which I will give you because you've read the book at this point, the information that you get here is that the Blood Singer is an ancient entity that is mentioned in very, very practiced and niche circles within the Nine Hells. And it is believed that this devilish lord was the origin of the practice of blood magic. Cultists and practitioners of this dark art have added in notes here throughout this book, very much like the Book of Vile Darkness, and every person that takes it, they add to it, and then every copy of the Book of Vile Darkness has those additions in it. It's very much the same kind of thing here. There are scrolls in the margins, people who have had this book before who have added their experiences. And we have a Dan! Excuse me a moment, folks, while we quickly jump over. We're just going to do this. And we're going to cut, and everybody's all in the wrong positions, but we're going to swap them round.
I'm so sorry for ruining everything.
Don't worry about it. It's a very, very minor
Thanks for
thing.
your
Yeah,
inspiration.
you should be.
Already fixed. Dan, if you could just make a wee note for me, just once you get settled, one use of your bardic inspiration has been used.
Cool. Thank you for letting me know. Oh heavens, this is so much fun to try and get the big view on my phone so I can see everybody. Can you even do that? Ugh.
While you're doing that, Dan, we'll give you a very, very brief recap.
Cool, thank you.
Went into the hole in front of the chapel, went down about 50 feet down, everybody floated down in a very, very safe manner. You looked resplendent as you descended into this hole. You came across a 20-foot arch made of black obsidian, Doors were already opened, and it was incredibly dark inside, but it led to a spiral staircase. The party went down the spiral staircase, discussing things about what they could be expecting. At the bottom of the staircase, which took about 20 minutes to get to the bottom of, so you're fairly deep underground, very, very humid, very warm now that you're down here, to the point where uncomfortable amounts of like condensation and sweating for a lot of people. However, you are mostly made of water, so we would just put it down to a little bit of swelling as your body
Don't love
takes
that,
in
but
more
fair
moisture.
point.
But
See, you
I
didn't
will,
like it.
I will leave it to you how that swelling shows. I said it could be like Elemental, the Disney movie, where he's like, oh, the pipes knocked me out of shape, and he's like jacked. So, you know, you could suddenly be swole, or however the way you want to represent that. You came to another pair of double doors, no markings on them whatsoever. And well considering how they would open them, Tallis lightly brushed it with her finger, and the door opened after a spark of flame surrounded her hand. As the door has opened, there's a room in front of you now with a 40-foot diameter, 20-foot radius room, not that large. And in the centre of it, there is a pedestal with a book. On the wall facing you, that would be 40 feet away from you now, there is another large archway with a pair of double doors, which has an effigy carved into it of this infernal looking woman. Very, very shapeless features, but horns, very, very feminine shape, hands splayed out with two large ring knockers hanging from their hands. Tallis has now went up and started reading the book, which unlocked and opened itself at her lightest touch. And Jacek and Silas, well, Jacek is investigating the room, and Silas is checking out Jacek. Tallis,
Braiding
Okay.
little flowers into his hair.
Tallis
Oh,
has Tallis has just succeeded on 3 wisdom saving throws to read through the book. This is where your use of the bardic inspiration came in. We thought it would probably be fair. Leonid would probably throw a bardic inspiration there. And Tallis has discerned that this is a book very much along the lines of the Book of Exalted Deeds or the Book of Vile Darkness, but infernal in origin.
Okay,
Tallis
sure.
has discerned the name of it is the Book of Blood and Fire, and it is a book of practices, rituals, magics of the 9 hells that have been given specific permission to exist by the Lord of the 9 hells, the Demon Lord, the Devil Lord Asmodeus.
Okay.
After the first saving throw, Tallis was able to discern that this was a book that would have these practices. It has all these notes in the margins and such from other cultists who have used it, other practitioners who have taken it. After the second wisdom saving throw, they discovered that it had lots of access to spells that a wizard would be able to learn. Specifically, like, it has access to some necromancy spells that are fairly new, but also has access to a whole new school of magic, sangromancy or hemomancy, blood magic. And after the third saving throw, Tallis has just discovered that it has a ritual to summon a devil lord known as the Blood Singer, and that ritual involves sacrificing the blood of the 7th infernal heir, whatever that is. Tallis was just reading into that just now. So as I said to you, the Blood Singer is a devil lord that is believed to be the first creator of blood magic. People who practice this dark art, they are thought to have learned this from, and it does specifically use a pronoun here. The Blood Singer is pronounced as a she. It says that they learned from her teachings. They saw her as their mother in these practices. Very little is known about the Blood Singer, as is cited in this book. You see that Asmodeus decided that he wanted as little to be written down about her as possible, but from the limited writings available, her arrival is supposed to herald the inevitable end of days. It's said
fun.
It's said that simply hearing her song carries the notes and tones of destruction and death. It's said that
Could we not?
It's said that eons ago she was one of the lords of the nine hells, although much like Tiamat, who was at one point a ruler of one of the nine hells, it is not understood if she is a devil, a demon, or in fact anything else. Her actions simply aligned her with other infernal lords, and her power was rivaled by very few. Her ambitions were also unrivaled. However, she chose to abandon her status as a lord of hell and departed for the material plane, seeking to conquer it. And this eventually became her downfall. However, there is no note of what it was that specifically brought her downfall here. All it says is that she has an everlasting thirst for knowledge, power, and her blood. Writings here of the cult known to follow and worship her, the Bloodsinger, has spread across the world. However, its numbers are still fairly small. Its members are typically the writings here come from what you can tell to be that of an infernal origin. This is a devil writing this part, where it says that most of the cultists tend to be very weak-minded, very gullible, as they're, in order to sustain her presence, she has to drain blood all the time. So it's essentially, as soon as she was to be summoned into the world, she would wipe out her cult, slowly draining the blood.
Great.
But some of the higher ranking members of her cult, those she would view as more redeemable acolytes, are powerful blood mages, even going so far as some of them to have dipped into an almost infernal type of vampirism. They have been seeking out, actively trying to find the blood of the seventh infernal heir. The ritual then goes through and explaining how the ritual works, that you would need the blood of the seventh infernal heir. This blood would then be drained, every drop of it drained, and then burned. And from that burning pool of blood, a willing vessel would descend into it. And should they pass through blood and fire, they would rise as the vessel for the Bloodsinger.
Ooh.
Well,
Brian, can I make an investigation check on the pedestal looking for traps?
Before you do that, I do want to jump to Jasic's
Yes,
investigation
please,
check.
go for it.
I wanted to finish your
Absolutely.
wisdom saves before I go to that, but Jasic, on your investigation check, you begin to see that carved into the walls around this room, it's actually less that you see them and more like as you're approaching, like you kind of like, you're getting down and looking at them, you feel that there are carvings in these walls.
so it's like if, yeah.
Go ahead, what were you going to ask?
I was gonna say, as I'm feeling them, like, is it like
Yeah,
really
so it's like-
faint carvings?
No, like deeply detailed.
Okay.
But just because of the darkness and because of the even with the dark vision, there's no light, so there's no depth to this black obsidian walls here. It takes you actually touching them before you can actually figure out. But with the nat 20, I am going to give it to you. You're able to find writing. It's not in an alphabet you recognise.
Okay.
I have Eyes of the Runekeeper.
But again, it would rely on you being able to see the letters.
Oh.
But
So
as
you can feel it, but you can't see it.
yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm saying. Because there's no light, there's no depth to the image. So unfortunately, there is.
No, cool.
You'd be able to feel the grooves, but you wouldn't be able to read them, I'm afraid. JC,
Okay.
with the nat 20 as well, what I'm going to give you can feel these go right round the whole room. these
So
carved.
the whole room is basically just
at
like
least-
covered in these.
At least as far as you can touch, here and here, goes right around, and there's writings and what you feel like is carved images. Now, Tallis, you wanted to roll an investigation on that pedestal. Please go for it. What'd you get?
Sorry. Me, investigation check.
Yes, investigation, please.
Ooh. 15?
On 15, the pedestal doesn't feel like the door fell. It feels like this pedestal feels like, honestly, it feels like black marble. It doesn't feel like as smooth as the glass, meaning this pedestal was probably brought here. You can feel that there is writing on it. What I will give you, because you can understand Infernal as your hands are tracing over it, can you make me a perception check? I'm going to say this will be with disadvantage because you're trying to feel the shape of Infernal runes along the pedestal.
Disadvantage perception.
Yes, please.
Okay. 17.
Okay. So on a 17, you are able to make out that this pedestal is... It's almost like it's giving a written instruction. Or, and it says, again, as devils usually do, fairly straightforward in how they speak, unless it's in a contract, at which point the devil's in the details. But this says, by infernal light be revealed.
It says what?
By infernal light be revealed.
Okay.
Now, because Dan's
Okay.
just joined us, I'm just very quickly going to go and see if Leonid wants to do anything in this room. Leonid, is there anything you want to do with what's been described to you so far?
No, this is a lot more culty than Leonid usually likes to get. He's going to be trying to like play some somewhat soothing music, but given the atmosphere, it probably comes across as creepy. So
It mingles very ominously with that infernal chanting that's going along as you start to play.
I don't know how to make this work exactly. Like, I know I have, like, hellish rebuke, and that comes from, like, my own internal infernal fire, basically. Can I kind of take that energy?
Make me an Arcana check. You've asked. You've asked. At the very, very last sentence you said there, you asked the right. Not the right question, but you asked the right words, if you get what I'm saying.
Okay.
So I'll give it to you based on the Arcana check. So make me an Arcana check.
Nope, that's bad. That's an 8.
You can try and Hellish Rebuke it, but Hellish Rebuke requires something to hurt you.
That's fair. Yeah. I mean, the only other thing I can think of is just firebolt it. Like, she's just gonna kind of send a firebolt at the pedestal.
Okay. So you cast you put your hand on the pedestal and you cast a firebolt into it.
Yeah.
As that firebolt leaves your hand, you watch as these runes almost inhale the flames. And they start to glow. But not only they glow, it spreads down the pedestal. And it spreads into the floor. And you see it's almost like there are hollowed out fissures in the floor that these flames come down and lick into and spread over to the walls. And eventually the walls are completely illuminated. All these runes and sigils all around it. The images now showing depth by infernal light. The only light in the Nine Hells is flame.
As J6 like inspecting this, he's just gonna turn over and just go, "What did you touch?"
I didn't touch anything. I put the light of the infernal light into things. That's all.
Hmm.
Now that these are all illuminated, can I use the eyes of the roomkeeper
You
and kind
certainly
of get
can.
a feel for what's being said?
You certainly can.
Do you want to check of any kind, or is that just like reading?
It's just reading. I mean, to
Yeah.
read the entirety of this wall would take like a solid 10 minutes if you're going to go around
Sure.
the room and read everything. So it depends how much detail you want to put into reading.
I'm skimming for essentials.
Okay.
Like, what is the big point?
So you would get essentially the same information that Tallis got from that book. This is the site of a ritual that is used to summon this being known as the Bloodsinger. The Bloodsinger is a Lord of the Hells who was like, hey, fuck it, the Hells isn't really working, so I'm going to jump to the mortal plane. But the carvings here show the carvings here show like an effigy of the Bloodsinger, and it looks like a fairly standard devilish figure with these large wings behind them. The wings look almost angelic, feathered, and they're never shown as being spread out horizontally. It's always in that way, like they curl up, almost like they're forming like a kind of mock halo surrounding the body. The writings go all around the room talking about that when she comes, she will bring the end of days. Her song will herald in the world being reborn through blood and fire. But then as it gets round to it, and it gets to this effigy of this person, down the centre of this person, there is a series of names written in Infernal. Just bear with me a moment, just so I get the order written down correctly of these names.
Of course.
Okay. The name at the top of this woman's form: Asmodeus.
Oh!
And then directly beneath him, the name Glazia. You know from books that you've read and from speaking to Tallis, Glazia is Asmodeus's daughter. The names then follow: Tybalt, Egala, Viana, Sarevol, Diabol, and then the last name at the bottom is Vat Tallis.
Is she the seventh name?
She is the seventh down from Asmodeus.
She would be the
Yeah.
eighth name, putting Vat Tallis as the seventh infernal heir.
Looking at the caving of the woman, or the Bloodsinger on the wall, and then looking over at Tallis after she drank the hell wine and also has these black feathery wings. Is there a notable similarity of any kind between the two of them?
No, not really in that sense.
Sure.
Certainly there has been some influence of this cult's united impressions upon Tallis, which formed these feathery wings, could be possibly linked to their idolation of this blood singer and her almost angelic looking wings. But there's nothing, like, the horns are different, the body shape is different, whereas Tallis is fairly tall and fairly lithe. This is a very, I guess what you would call like a, oh god, I can't remember the word, like the 1950s Hollywood-esque female form, the Marilyn Monroe female form, very much like much with some of Tallis's fashion choices, and much with like Tallis, obviously when you saw Glacia came to you, and much with a lot of Infernal, like Cambions and Incubi and Succubi and such. The clothing that they wear is to show their form. It's very accentuated, but the body types are completely different.
Sure.
It does not bear any striking resemblance to Tallis, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Do you happen to point out that my name is on a wall?
No.
Fair enough.
No,
It's literally lit up on fire if you want to try.
Yeah,
and
no, it's
look
like,
for it.
right.
I mean, it's fair.
He'll look around the room and go, right, so he'll point at the door that Tallis' name is engraved in, and go, that woman slept with Asmodeus. They had child who had a 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 child. I don't know if I did
Who had a
seven
child.
or not. Who had a child?
One
There we
more.
go. One more. Who had a child? That is you. And in order to bring the blood singer, which is terrifying, back into this world.
Oh, I have to die. Yeah, it's all in this book here.
You could have saved
every-
time by reading that aloud.
Tallis, as he's pointed it out, the name above yours, it's not from what you remember to be either of your parents' names.
Yeah, what was the name again?
The name above yours is Diabol.
Diabol. And, I'm sorry, Brown, what are my parents' names?
Make me nah, I'm totally joking. Give me 2 minutes. I wrote it at the top of the last checks we did. In fact, I only wrote your mother's. So
My dad doesn't exist.
so your mother's name is Verana. Your father's name is probably in one of the other notebooks that I have attached to the Tides of Chaos.
We're gonna call him Kyle today.
We're gonna call him Kyle.
Why Kyle specifically?
Kyle. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Kyle.
It was Kyle or Howard. The two of those were just running through my head.
But
Is
but as you look at the name Diabol,
Yeah.
and in fact the rest of the party were there. So because that's now been pointed out, and because you see that, do you say anything about that name?
I mean, okay, so this is now at this point, having pointed out oh yeah, that's in the book. She's gonna pick the book off the pedestal
Okay.
and put it in her bag.
Fair.
That bitch is coming with me. She's gonna walk up to where it is. She's like, I don't know who the fuck Diabol is, but that's not who I know as my parents. So this is news to me.
Well,
I know I'm descended from Glacia, but that's it.
if I had a secret child who
I'm
was
adopted.
an essential part of a ritual, I would probably also send them to my most devoted members to be raised in a place of quiet without awareness of one's own significance. Probably. Maybe. Never been
Well,
in this
that's
position
super
before, but
cool. So, not only do my adoptive, as I'm now assuming, parents want me to die, but so did my biological parents. Damn! You know, there's like this whole thing with adoption where it's like you feel like your biological parents don't want you, but now I'm not wanted by either. So,
you're
that's
highly
fun.
desired, actually.
Not the way I want.
Alright. Everybody up to speed with the cult shit?
Oh, yeah. So
Bloodsinger.
here, recap. This whole book. This is coming with me. This could be actually really cool. But it does go through the rituals. So I cannot die here. The ritual, Brand, did the ritual specifically say I had to be alive for my blood to be spilled?
Yes.
Okay, so they can't just kill me and then take my... Like, if I died some other way, they couldn't just use my blood. Like, they have to use my...
No, it has
okay.
to be sacrificed.
Okay. Right, so nobody let me get trapped. Because if... So basically what's going to happen is they're going to try and trap me and spill the entirety of my blood and then burn it, and it's going to bring this bitch back, and she points to the imagery. And she marks the end of the world, essentially. So unless we want the world to end, keep my throat from being slit, I don't know.
What's the other option?
The world ending?
Oh, that's
Only-
not
I
a
mean,
great option.
Only the world ending.
Yes.
It's got its pros and cons.
The
You're
world
not
is
wrong.
your cull.
You know... Can we go kill my supposed mother now and be done with this?
I think that would be in our best interest.
Great. She is gonna kick the door this time. This next door.
Okay. So you will cover make me an athletics check.
Oh god.
I want to see Tallis like volley this door open.
Can I do acrobatics?
How would you acrobatically kick open a door?
I just gotta do it real cool like.
That's not what acrobatics means.
I love how you said that with your entire chest. You were like, I just gotta do it real cool like.
No, isn't that like the difference between finesse and brute force, though?
Yeah!
No.
You shut the fuck
it's
up!
absolutely
Finesse is
not.
not just cool through brute force.
Yes, it is!
It's absolutely not. It's
Oh my
athletics.
God.
Okay, athletics. That's not it bad! That's a 17! I got super lucky.
17, you walk up and you like Dane Cook in his comedy spell, Flopper! And you boot this door. And it caves in. Or it would with a 17, but as your boot lightly graces it, flames flicker around it, and the door cracks down the middle and opens at your slightest touch.
That's so lame!
What it opens into is an enormous room. From where you are, as you enter, you can see out your peripheral 2 standing statues holding braziers with infernal fire. More red and orange than orange and yellow. 75 foot of wall on the side you're standing. 100 foot long. In the centre of this room, you can see 4 tall spires, again wreathed in infernal runes and flames. In the centre of it, you can see some kind of humanoid figure lying face down in the centre of these 4 pillars. And at the far end of the wall, sitting on a throne, wearing all white, looking very, almost demure, your mother.
That bitch.
And she
Playing
says,
play boss fight music.
she says, daughter, I'm so glad you chose to join me.
She's gonna glance back to everybody else. Should I let her talk, or should we just go straight into slaughter?
Or adopted mother.
It's your mother.
We'll support you no matter what you do. If you want to insult her first and then kill her, or just jump straight to the killing.
Part of me feels like I do kind of deserve some answers here. But there's also a lot of rage.
Look back for a moment for closure. Have a conversation. When you hear something you don't like,
Then
nuke
rage?
the bitch. We'll
Rage.
follow your lead.
Tallis will start to make her way down the aisle. So, like, as she's walking, she's gonna kind of take notice of the surroundings. So we've seen the person in the middle and then my mom. Is there anybody else in this area?
Not so far as you can see.
Okay.
As you walk past the center and the person in the center, they turn their attention to you, and you see that they are like, from as you get closer to them, because I mean you're walking. If you give me 2 moments, I'll just double check the map quickly, and I can tell you exactly how far you walk before you reach the center. 5, 10, 15, 20. So you're walking 20 feet before you get, and as you get to that 20 feet, you can feel there's a force pushing against you, keeping you from stepping inside these 4 spires. But as you get to the edge of it and start to skirt round the edge to get to closer to your mother, the being inside of these 4 spires, he's easily like 9.5 feet tall. Deep red skin. A pair of large wings on their back, which lie flat on the ground. They almost look as if they've been flayed. Like they look more like they don't look as if they are like a dragon's wings where they're flesh and muscle with skin over it. It looks like the layers of skin have been taken off, so you just see the layers of muscle and the bone, but it doesn't look as if they've been actively flayed. It looks like this is their natural state.
Gotcha.
They also appear a little bit singed at the edges. As you walk past, this being pushes themselves weakly onto their hands and knees and looks at you, and you see they have a crown of 6 horns adorning their head. Deep red at the base, but verging into that almost like kind of like singed and cracked and burnt ember colours towards the tips. And they have deep burning eyes set into that, very, very like vivid red skin. They look exceptionally weak. Like they can barely. Their arms are trembling, holding themselves on all 4s. But as you skirt around and you approach, your mother stands, and she looks to you with a very like zealot and manic smile. She's like, "Have you come to willingly foresee your destiny?"
Absolutely not. And I think we need to get one thing straight. You're clearly not my mother.
I am.
At least according to the magic wall.
She's going to look at you and she's going to smile and go, "Oh, my dear daughter, I am most definitely your mother. I remember the night of giving birth to you. You are most definitely born of my blood."
Oh, so then your real name is Diabol. How unfortunate.
She's going to smile and she's going to look at the being inside the circle. And she's going to say, no. Unfortunately, I do not descend from that line. However, and again her eyes linger on this being inside this circle of these 4 spires. She's going to say, I imagine he hasn't heard that name spoken in a neutral tone for quite a number of years. And she gestures almost mockingly to him and says, say hello to your father.
No thanks. You know, I just killed my other father. So I guess I might as well kill this one and my wonderful mother. But before that, care to explain yourself at all? I mean, anything else? I mean, I already read the book and the walls and everything.
So you know of the destiny that has been laid out before you.
Yeah, here's the thing. I don't do well with people telling me what to do. So destiny's not really my thing.
She's gonna smile at that and chuckle, but a very condescending chuckle, like that kind of like and she says, she looks towards Diabol and she says, she must take that from you because you said the exact same thing before I bound you here. And he speaks for the first time in Infernal, and it's like it, whereas before it may have held the bass and power of a roaring inferno, now it barely sounds like a campfire crackling. As he said, he barks a curse at her in Infernal. And she looks back at you, Tallis, again with that condescending smile and says, I believe you get your manners from his side as well.
Well, I mean, technically, you weren't really around to raise me, right? Because, you know, you died and somehow you're alive again?
I was given a second chance at destiny by a delightful young man. The only thing he requested was my aid in finding a particularly disgusting artifact.
You know, the same thing happened to Dad.
Your father was... Oh well. And she's again going to look at him and go, no need for the pretense anymore, is it? That weakling was, well, weak. He gave in to the corruption of the eye fairly quickly. And I saw the only thing to do with him was to send him somewhere where his madness would not ruin my second chance. And so that lovely young gentleman sent him to a place which was supposed to be inescapable, unbreachable. But I assume if you've defeated him, he either escaped or you got to him. Yet again, another waste of your time, dear daughter.
Oh, sorry, I forgot my time is better spent having my blood spilled so you can bring a psychopath back. Right? That's what my time should be? Rather than
You speak of
breaching
a
the
gift.
unbreachable. She's go, anybody else think it's a gift? to have your throat slit, blood spilt and burnt to bring back a psychopathic demon, devil, whatever the fuck this thing is?
Jason's gonna answer non-rhetorically, no.
No. You guys are just like leaning on your weapons, like, can we get to hitting things yet? Like,
Silas is still braiding Jasek's hair.
So, dear mother, if I breached the unbreachable and escaped the inescapable, do you think maybe you shouldn't try killing me? Do you think maybe for a second it might end badly for you?
destiny always lies through fear and pain. Why else would it be worth achieving? But if you are truly going to insist upon fighting your destiny, then I will humour your childish antics. And she's going to stand and she's going to reach to the side of this throne she sits on, and she's going to draw an elegant blade, like a dagger. And she'll just start making her way very casually towards you, Tallis.
Right. How far away from the pillars am I?
From the pillars right now, do you walk round so that you're directly facing her, or do you just kind of skirt the edge a little bit from your initial approach to them?
Just kind of skirt the edge.
Okay, so then there are 4 pillars, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Like the 4 corners, okay? You would be about 15 feet away from the bottom left. 1, 2, 3, I'll call that 15 feet. About 15 feet away from the left, and then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 feet away from the top left.
I'm not able to get close to the pillars.
You cannot. No, you can touch the pillars, but
Okay.
you feel as if there's a force keeping you from entering the circle in the middle of the pillars.
As she's slowly making her way, I want to inch my way towards the pillars, and I want to cast Identify on the pillars.
Okay.
And casting as a spell.
Right, so you use that spell slot, you cast Identify. These are pillars of infernal transmission. The pillars have a twofold purpose. One, when the pillars are aligned correctly, any infernal whose name is spoken and summoned in a circle into the middle of them is bound inside them until they are destroyed. Not only that, the person who conducts the summoning of this infernal, they directly gain that infernal's power. Essentially, your mother has sapped all of the power from your father.
Default. Let me read Identify really quick. So I can learn the properties and how to use them, how many charges it has. I also learn, I guess, the spell that created it or something. Yeah, the spell that created it. Like, essentially what she's looking for is, if I destroy these pillars, does it break?
If you destroy all 4 of these pillars, not only will your mother lose the infernal power they're draining from Diabol, Diabol will gain all his power back.
Great. And doing this all in very quick succession, she's going to cast Message 3 times. Like very in quick succession to Jasek, Leonid, and Silas. Focus on the pillars. Destroy them. It destroys her.
J6 just gonna say back because you get to respond. Say when.
And she's just gonna be like, you'll know. And immediately, following that, she is going to cast Tidal Wave on her mother.
Okay. So you cast
Dex save of 20.
Dex save of 20, and after I make this saving throw, guys, we are going to take our 15-minute break, and then we come back, we will roll for initiative. Alrighty. What was the DC on that there, sorry?
20.
DC 20. Okay, that's a 15 on the die. Okay, so you crash this tidal wave into your mother. She does not move. In fact, as the water approaches her, it steams in parts around her. Not only does she not move, she does not take any of the damage.
Fair enough.
And she just looks at you and goes, "Dear daughter, you can't harm me." And
Yet.
she'll then start moving towards you with more purpose, this blade in her hand. And with that, we're going to go to our 15-minute break, guys, and when we come back, we'll be going into initiative order. Don't go anywhere, folks. We will see you after our 15-minute break. Hello there, beautiful people. We are back with part 2 of session 89. And we're going to call part 2 Matricide. Fun for all the family. So Tallis, you cast a tidal wave at your mother. The water evaporated as it contacted with her, dealing no damage. And she just kept marching towards you. It is at this point, my good folks, I'm going to have to ask you all to roll initiative.
As one does. As one does.
As
Done.
one does.
$26.
26 for Tallis. Anybody get higher than
Yes.
26? No?
Nope.
Okay.
Y'all should have taken that alert feat.
Did anybody get between
Absolutely
25 and 20?
Really?
That's rough, guys.
No? Okay. Between 20 and 15.
Charlie!
Silas,
I know,
what did you
right?
get?
I rolled a 19 on the die for a total of 19.
Damn, gotta love that.
Good for you, baby.
Astounding, really. I have to figure out what I'm gonna do now. I usually have so much time.
Jacek, Leonid, what did you guys get?
11.
7.
Slow. We're so slow.
Yeah, a little rough there.
I love Jacek so much. Phenomenal cosmic power. Itty bitty initiative speed. Tallis, you are first up as we
Fuck yeah,
initiate
bitch.
combat.
Alright. First things first. Quicken spell True Strike on this bitch.
Quicken spell True Strike. As you cast
On this
out
bitch.
as you cast out True Strike onto her, waiting for that onslaught of information, granting you advantage and gaining you knowledge into her weaknesses, you'll get the advantage. But you do not get any information as it rebounds as a blank slate.
Oh.
She is protected from scrying, mental invasion, all that kind of jazz.
Alright.
Because she's drawing from a devil lord who are protected from scrying and mental probing and such. But you do still get the advantage that would come from the True Strike.
Okay. Let me read over something really quick. We're gonna start off a little calm here,
Okay.
which sounds crazy, but she's being logical, realizing like this bitch is protected until these pillars are destroyed. So I'm gonna cast Witch Bolt at her.
Which bolt is it?
Oh, that was almost a nat 20. But it's a 29 to hit.
Okay. So you lash out your hand and you send this witch bolt, and you said what was the total to hit on that there?
29. 17 plus 12.
On a 29, you will hit.
Good. Alright, so that is 19 lightning damage.
Okay. You watch as lightning completely wreaths her form. And you said that was 19 lightning damage.
Correct.
Excuse me a moment.
Oh, and real quick, since I've used a meta magic, I am also gonna give her disadvantage on... Let's go... let's go Dex saving throws. Well, just Dex in general. Sorry, she has disadvantage on anything Dex.
Is it all rolls to do with Dex, or is it dexterity
Yep.
checks?
It's all rolls to do with checks. I will double check the Shadowfell Shard. Momentarily curse one creature targeted by the spell. Choose one ability, and until the end of your next turn, the creature has disadvantage on ability checks and saving throws that use that.
Ability checks and saving throws. Fantastic. Okay.
So
So you
all
chose
things Dex.
dexterity, yeah?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Does someone have foresight cast on them?
Me.
Okay, cool. I thought that was the case.
Right?
Also haste, right?
Oh, that's right. I have haste still.
Okay.
What does
So I'm
foresight do again for me? I forgot.
Advantage on everything.
Oh, okay.
Disadvantage to people against you.
Okay. Because you gave me foresight, and I have haste still.
Haste doesn't last forever, though.
No. It might have worn off by now, actually, and that means I can't use. Right? When did I activate it?
Haste is 1 minute.
No, that's not how my boots work.
Oh, you get up to what? 10 minutes with boost.
10 minutes.
They would have
Boots
ran out either way. The boots of haste.
I can't remember when I did it though.
Well,
It's been more than 10 minutes is the issue.
Yeah,
because it
no,
took
I'm
you
just
20
trying
minutes to get down here.
Yeah.
You don't suffer from lethargy though.
No, it's just I can't use it until the next long
You
rest.
just can't use it until after a long rest.
Did I use it? Did I use it last session though?
I believe you did use it during the combat.
Okay. Alright. Then
And then Bran, she's also got my spell I sent you last week, and then we have Warding Bond between the two of us.
what's the spell that I have?
I'm just double checking it. I do remember that you sent me notes.
And
on
then-
that.
Silas and I have Warding Bond.
Yes, you do. Where are you? There you are.
We only have Warding Bond for another 40 minutes, because apparently it's only an hour.
Okay. Then yeah. That is my turn.
Okay. If that's your turn, it then goes to her. And she's going to come towards you and she's going to aim to attack you with this dagger.
With disadvantage.
With disadvantage indeed.
Question.
Yes.
I don't know, like, if we were able to position ourselves before combat started, but Leonid would have, again, tried to be slightly uncomfortably close without being, like, gross. But, you know, within 5 feet. Within 5 feet.
So I do remember you saying you were going to stay close to Tallis. So I will say that you could, at the point of the beginning of combat, you can be within 5 feet of Tallis. However, nobody else said about moving, so they're still on the other side of this circle. Tallis, so as she comes to attack you with this dagger, she moves very quickly. Even with the fact you've granted disadvantage onto her, it doesn't seem to halt her as much as disadvantage has usually halted people when you've been in combat before.
Yeah.
She does roll at base because of something that will come to light literally as I'm making this attack. She has advantage on her attack rolls. You giving her disadvantage has balanced
Gotcha.
it out. Okay?
Gotcha.
It was a nat 20.
Okay.
Oh no.
Not that I want to say the dice are trying to tell a story, but the dice obviously know something's afoot.
It's okay.
Okay, so that plus that makes that. That becomes that. That went with that. Tallis, you will take 33 acid damage
Okay.
as she plunges this blade into you. As it nicks at you, Tallis, you watch as your blood doesn't fall. It drains into the blade. And she's going to say
Tallis?
to you,
Oh.
to you, since the last time I've made some changes. And so that
Hellish
is...
rebuke.
And so I'm... Okay, fantastic. That's a dexterity saving throw, which means that she does have disadvantage.
It is.
There's nothing granting her advantage on that. So she just has the disadvantage there. The black and red die I'm using are being terrifying. So that is a total of... I still think it fails. That is a total of a 19. 13 plus 6.
Trying to find my hellish rebuke. Where is it? Where the fuck is it? It's a 3rd level spell slot, right? No. What is it? Oh, here it is. I found it. It's a dex of 20 for a save.
Okay, so she fails. So she's going to... You're going to deal fire damage. And just a notation, that
19.
is 19. Just a notation, that is 33 damage that's been dealt with the blade. Okay?
Yes. She's probably healing that.
As you hellish rebuke onto her, the flames crash into her, wreath up around her body, and when they leave, she's just pushing soot off her shoulder. And she says, "Darling, bound to a devil, and you wield fire." As she shows that, again, on top of the growing stack of things that have not affected her, cold, lightning, and fire have done nothing.
Tallis is just sort of a natural response. I'm immune to it too. You're not special.
Yeah, mother.
She's going to make her other 2 attacks.
Okay.
Again, both of them will be at base.
I'm gonna go down, guys.
I'm gonna start showing these dice rolls, right, because this black and red die I've rolled a nat 20 for her first attack, then with the disadvantage on the dex save, it rolled a nat 20, then a 13 on the second die, which led to her failing that. And on this attack roll, it's just rolled a 19. It's not a crit. It's not a crit. But the total of that is going to be a 26.
Okay.
Tallis,
Foresight doesn't do anything to my AC, right? No, I don't have anything boosting my AC. So my AC is 18.
Which means you're short by 8.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Does the attack have disadvantage to hit because of foresight?
No, she has advantage,
but she
so
has
she's at base.
advantage because of... She has insinuated that she has done something which allows her advantage.
Cancels out.
Yes.
Cool.
You are going to take 11 points of damage from that second attack.
Okay.
So that's a total of 44 points of damage dealt with this dagger.
Okay.
That is the end of her turn. Okay? We now go to initiative count 20.
Oh no.
And that infernal chanting is going to spike higher and higher. And the walls are going to start to bleed. And drips are going to fall from the ceiling. I need everybody to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Silas, you get +5 because you're still near me.
You're also gonna take half of this. Love you.
I mean, yeah. It's what I'm here for. Ooh, I rolled hot.
While I'm here,
Okay.
Tallis, do you want to see what your dad looks like?
Sure.
Please. I love the description of the 6 horns. That sounds daunting.
I will drop an image into the chat in a minute. So what's everybody's dex saves?
26.
19.
15.
Okay, so everybody is going to take half damage from this. Sorry, just double checking that everybody got above 17.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Oh.
I got 15.
Sorry, I misheard
With
that.
advantage?
Reaction Cosmic Omen. Do you want to roll a d6 and add it to that? See if you can beat the threshold?
I can try.
Tallis, you did roll with advantage, right?
Yeah, I did. Okay, so that makes it a 20.
20, okay.
Okay.
So everybody's going to take half of the damage from that. I definitely didn't give that game away there because I misheard stuff. Okay, so we got that and that, which makes that, which makes that, which makes that. Everybody will take 19 acid damage.
Acid.
Yep, as the blood drips down and as the blood hits onto like your clothes, anything that's not magical starts to cinder and holes appear in it. And
So you take. Sorry.
And if it touches your bare skin, any part of your biological anatomy, it starts to burn horribly.
So you take 9 of that, Silas. I'll take 9 of it.
Yeah. I guess that looks like I was saying okay. This is sign language for 9. I was like, I don't know why I thought you would know that. Sorry.
That's really weird. In British Sign Language, the sign language for 9 is this.
That's pretty simple. Yeah. For some reason in ASL, it's 6, 7, 8, 9. It's so you can count on just one hand.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right, okay. Okay, cool, yeah, that's actually... It's one of the things I like about American Sign Language is that it is all orchestrated, that it could work with one hand. Whereas
For the most part.
With British Sign Language, you do need both hands. However, we do have one of the best signs for a word, in my opinion, which is this.
Bullshit!
Bullshit. I fucking love it. Right, that's the lair action done, as it is now raining blood. Silas,
Nice.
it goes to your turn. Leonid, you are on deck.
Fantastic. Silas is going to assume starry form of the chalice, which gives you a big bonus to healing. And because he has warding bond and full of stars, he's going to go ahead and move up to Tallis within melee range as well. And he's going to take his action to... yeah. 4th level Cure Wounds on Tallis.
I know, my love. You can't be up on the computer.
So let me roll some dice. What's 29 plus 12? I'm sorry, my brain's not braining.
41.
41? Tallis, that's 41 HP back.
Oh, thanks.
That's action, bonus action. So yeah, that's all that Silas would do. Move up next to Tallis and heal.
Okay, so that's everything for you, Silas?
Yeah.
Okay, so Silas, you heal Tallis, and you watch as, even though the wounds knit up, that the blade in Tallis's mother's hand still glints with that deep crimson glow. And she's going to look to you and say, "An admirable effort, but blood spilled is still spilled." And it's going to go then to Leonid. Jacek, you are on deck.
Sounds good.
Okay. since Silas took care of the healing, Leonid is going to
sorry.
cast... No, please. By all means, that actually frees up an action. Leonid's going to cast Leonid's Glamorous Companion, because we need more attractiveness in this fight. I'm going to put them a little bit behind me, if possible, somewhere within the range of J6 aura thing. Sorry, forgot what it was called. That's going to be for my action. For my bonus action, I'm going to use one of the motes from Crown of Stars that I think I still have active, and I believe I used 2 of those in the last session. So I'm going to use one of those. And I'm pulling up that spell now, so give me just 1 second. And I'm going to target the furthest pillar, because we're close to, you said, the bottom left. Was that correct?
So you guys have moved up. You guys are close to the bottom left pillar. I'll send you guys a basic idea of the map if you just bear with me. I can get that sent to you.
Oh, damn, my dad is creepy.
Flip it.
There we go. I'm just going to get that. I'm going to put us right into the Tides of Chaos game images, which is a fairly basic outline of the map area you're in right now. Okay? I don't have any markers or anything on it, but the bottom left pillar, Tallis is 2 squares along from it and 4 squares up from it. Just underneath the point of the little triangle on the left of the circle. Okay.
Yes. So I'm going to target the pillar to the top right pillar with one of my...
So across the room.
Yes, which the range is 120 feet, so I should be able to do that. And I think I have timeline. That is going to be a ranged spell attack.
And what type of damage is it that it does?
Radiant.
Okay. Okay, roll to hit.
And that'll be a dirty 20 to hit.
Dirty 20 is definitely going to hit it as a standing object. It is not difficult to hit it.
That's good. So that's going to be 4d12 radiant damage.
Okay, roll that damage.
Hey, that's not bad. 37. I rolled 2 12s.
37. So you send
so much less satisfying.
Sorry, go ahead. Finish what you were going to say.
Oh no, it's like so much less satisfying to use digital dice, but I don't have any on me right now.
That's absolutely fine. So you fire off a mote from this crown of stars as it peels away, zooming towards this top right pillar, and it crashes into it. You watch as cracks bellow out from where it hits, as you've just crashed radiant damage into an infernal pillar, showing a vulnerability. So that 37 becomes 74 radiant damage.
Let's go.
And that was to the top right one, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Very well done. Anything else for you there, Leonid?
Nope, that's going to be it.
Fantastic. After Leonid, we go to Jacek. Tallis, you are on deck. Okay? Jacek.
So J6's gonna see what Leonid just did, looking at the top right pillar Jasic's gonna want to charge and attack that one as well. So with the glaive, gonna kind of like run up to stab the glaive in, and almost try and use it to lever and topple the pillar.
Driving it in and like pulling down.
Just driving it in and then hoisting it. So first I'm gonna attack. Probably gonna be pumping a Divine Smite into this.
Okay.
It's a 25 to hit. Does that hit?
Easily.
Okay. So we're gonna use a first level spell slot to Divine Smite. So the slashing damage is gonna be 14.
Okay, so 14 damage?
I also get improved Divine Smite, which is an additional 2. Does this count as a fiend? I know it's a pillar, but does it count as a fiend?
Roll me a d20. Go for it. Roll me a d20.
That's an 11 on the d20.
I'm gonna count it. It's fiendish in origin. It was between 11 and 20. I'll count it. Yes, this will count as a fiend.
So I just get an additional die 8 on Divine Smite.
We'll see
so
that the pillars have got infernal souls woven into them, and that's where their power comes from.
And then, so it's a total of 14 radiant damage total.
14 radiant damage becomes 28. Okay, this pillar has got some big old cracks. Pieces of it crumble off and fall, crashing into the marble ground and skittering across, sliding all over this very smooth marble floor that you guys are currently on. Anything else for you, Jacek?
So, looking at it, do I think that it is close to coming down, like I could leverage it, or just another swing?
It's in pieces. If you want, I would let you use the rest of your attack action to do an athletics check to see if you could push it and topple it. Or you can take another swing at it.
Let's do that. Let's try and topple it, because it'll be more fun. I'm going to use my bonus action for Channel Divinity. Okay. Peerless Athlete. I have advantage on athletics and acrobatics checks. The amount I can carry, push, drag, or lift is doubled. And the distance of my long and high jumps are increased by 10 feet.
Okay, so what I'm going to do purely for fairness is I'm going to take the amount of hit points this thing has left, and I'm just going to half it down the middle, and that'll be the DC to meet. Okay?
Oh boy.
And if you beat this, I will count that as this particular top right pillar being destroyed.
So, I got a 25.
I shit you not, I had 51 hull points left. Brought to 50, half 25 is a meets it, beats it.
Let's go.
You go into this crack that Pinchy has made at the base, and you just shove your fingers in, and you grunt and groan, and you heft, and eventually you feel that snap as the base cracks off, and you lift, and it's less like you topple it over and more like you caber toss it as you just kind of and then flip it. And
I was gonna say my current push, drag, and lift poundage is 690, 69. Nice. But because of Peerless Athlete, I double that.
Yeah. So you're talking up into like the 1300s of pounds here. Like,
yeah.
Easily. You flip that and the top right pillar is
J6 lifts. Alright. That's my turn.
Okay. As it crashes onto the ground, Tallis and Leonid, you guys would see on Tallis' mother's face cracks. Almost as if like volcanic magma is beneath, kind of glowing with that infernal flame before they die back down. Jacek, very well done on that turn. After your... is that the end of your turn?
That's all. Well, hold on. I'm gonna look at the distance of the room. Leonid, you said the top left pillar?
They're,
right?
they're almost directly in between the two left pillars.
Oh, yeah. No, I had to use all my movement to get there. 55 movement. That's all I got.
Alrighty then, in that case it goes back to the top of initiative order. Tallis, you are up.
So, Tallis realizing she's literally fighting herself right now. I have no idea if this is gonna do anything or help in any way. But before she makes any kind of action, she's just gonna think in her head and just be like, some divine intervention would be really nice here. Just, saying she's got the whole devil lord on her side. Don't know if you wanna sprinkle some magic shit.
Is that how you do it? Just sprinkle magic shit?
Are you asking Erebos to help?
I am absolutely asking Erebos for some divine intervention here. Please, Daddy.
Roll me a D100.
Oh, okay. Da, 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 da. That is 12.
12?
Yeah, 12. D100.
Okay. Tallis, I need you to choose something for me.
Okay.
Rejuvenation, destruction, or penance. Pick one.
I think I'm gonna go rejuvenation.
Not what
I
I
know.
was expecting.
I know.
So, I don't know if you're familiar with the cleric ability Divine Intervention and how it works.
I am familiar from how it works in Baldur's Gate.
So in the actual game, what happens is you have to roll a D100 after beseeching a god that you follow. And if you roll equal to or lower than your level on a D100, then it works.
Oh, okay.
So I decided to limit the capabilities of it, but use the same thing. So I can see that you've actually rolled a 12 on that. So you chose rejuvenation, yeah?
Maybe. Now I don't know.
Okay, you have to pick.
This is a big decision.
Do whatever Tallis' little heart wants, desires.
Exactly
needs.
that. At the core of Tallis, what does she want from Erebos right now?
Okay, Bran, I'm sorry, I changed my mind. Destruction.
Okay, destruction.
There it is.
Destruction. In my mind, I'm like, okay, rejuvenation. Maybe it's like Baldur's Gate, and we'll all just get a long rest. But maybe it doesn't work that way, and that's a big risk.
It definitely, I can say now that you've chosen, it definitely was not that.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm like, okay, if it's a long rest, then I can have my haste back. And
Ooh.
So,
Yeah.
destruction.
so destruction, yeah, I would choose
Right.
rejuvenation, but getting destruction.
Grab a
That
ninth
just sounds
level
like
spell
destruction with
back.
extra steps.
Let's go.
Well, that was the other part. It's just like long rest. We'd get our spell slots back. Fuck yeah. But
you watch as around these 3 remaining spires, shadows form, hands crawl up from them, and then just plunge into the core of them and rip chunks from the base of them. As Erebos is going to deal a rolled total of 66 damage to each of the spires.
Ooh.
I will now confirm to you, Rejuvenation was you were going to get back spell slots, and Penance was going to be directly dealing damage equal to what your mother had dealt in total so far to her.
okay.
Her resistances
so sorry.
her resistances and immunities would come into play on it, but the lump sum of damage would be dealt. But destruction is the pillars. So they have each taken 66 points of necrotic damage.
Perfect. Seeing this, she's just kind of like smirk and raise her eyebrows at her mom. And then silently be like, thanks. Time to go fuck this up. And
so what I will say is I'm going to count that divine intervention as your action.
Oh, okay, that's totally fair. Do I get a bonus action?
You can still take your bonus action, of course.
Okay, cool. Bonus action. You know what? Fuck it. Disintegrate 6th level on one of the pillars.
Jesus.
Okay.
I don't know if they can save, but it's a dex of 20. I don't think they can save.
No,
Right, they're
structures
in it.
automatically fail.
Okay. Well, that is 80 force damage.
Top left, or bottom right?
Whatever's closest to my mother.
Top left would be closest to your
Top
mother.
left.
So you said that was 80 points.
Correct.
So you point to that one and you blast this beam of sickly green and black light, and as it crashes into that pillar, only the base of that pillar remains, as the rest of it just kind of and dissipates into dust. Only the base of it is left, but there is still power channeling from it.
Fair enough. Well, then that would be my turn. She gonna be pissed.
At the end of your turn, she's going to use a legendary action to stab you. I believe that's going to be a meets it, beats it on you, Tallis. 18?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
No. What are you doing, Leonard?
Shield +6.
Shield is +5, is it not?
Yeah, well, I have Dragon Wing Shield.
Oh, you're doing your platinum wing thing, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Right, okay, awesome. So your platinum wings up. Does that last until your next
Just
turn?
for one attack.
Just for that attack.
It's just one attack. Yeah.
So that was a legendary action. It now goes to, at officially ending your turn, it's going to go to your mother. And she's going to make her attacks against you.
I try.
I appreciate it.
All good ones.
Every little bit helps.
So the
I'm
first-
just a squish.
The first attack is going to be a 22.
Oh yeah, that's going to hit.
Second attack is a 19.
Okay.
And I'll happily show the dice roll if you want, but the
It's a
third
nat
attack
20.
is a nat 20.
Oh no.
Okay.
I'm gonna put that there so that I can do this and show that I'm not altering the... Well, wait, actually, no. I'll do this so you can see I'm not altering the throw of the dice.
Good.
It is a nat 20.
Okay.
I always like to just be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first attack that landed, let me get that done just now. And I'll get them all rolled up. That and that. Okay. Right. Tallis, in total, you're going to take 68 damage from all three of those attacks. All three of them. As she comes in and she moves very, very quickly and swiftly. You can see there's still some level of drag back, but she's still, again, she's got the power of a devil lord flowing through her body.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was a total of 68 there. 68. That would go to that, and then that would go to that. Okay. That is the end of her turn. It then goes to lair action. Now. As she swipes at you with these blades, she's going to speak in Infernal. And she is going to... What she does is she starts to beckon towards Diabol and towards what she speaks, the flames in his heart. And you watch as Diabol's body tenses up. He goes up onto his knees, throws his head back as his body spasms in pain, and a pulse of fire shoots out from him in a sphere. I need a dexterity saving throw from everybody within 20 feet of that.
Whoa!
Am I within 20 feet? Are we all within 20 feet?
I think everybody is within 20 feet. Yeah, you would have to be like...
Oh, wait.
Yeah, it'll hit everybody. So that is going to be dexterity saving throws, people.
What kind of damage is this, Bran?
You're
It's fire that's coming
not
out.
with us.
Flames.
No, I am.
Okay.
I move up towards the top right pillar.
Yeah, we're over by the top left.
Yeah.
So
My
Tallis,
dex save was a 9.
Tallis, you have
Ooh.
resistance to fire damage, don't you?
I am immune.
You're immune. Then you'll take no damage from this as the waves
Yeah.
crash over you. The flames
Which
do
is a really
nothing
good
to
thing
you.
right now.
A 9 with advantage on a save?
Jacek,
26.
26, you will take half the damage. Silas,
17.
17 is a meat set, beat set. So you will take half
Awesome.
the
Jacek, you
damage.
have resistance right now.
Yeah, I gave Jacek the amulet of fire resistance, so he'll take half.
Hey.
And Leonid, what did you get?
24.
Okay, so you will all take half the damage on it.
Oh, except you'll be taking the half of the damage that I don't take.
Yes.
Because of warding bond.
But I got the hit points to take that, so that's not worrisome.
I'll take half of half, and you'll just take half.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Maths?
I think the maths.
So it will be 28 halved to 14.
Okay.
Halves to 7 for Silas. And
Jacek
Jacek will take
7.
14. Yeah,
So
so Jacek will take 14.
Jace.
Silas will take 7.
Right.
Yes. Because you're all taking half damage, but Silas is taking half of half
And I take the half of my half, but it comes back
by taking the half
the
of
heck of
Silas's.
his, yeah.
Right, so
Yeah.
Jacek takes 14.
Jesus, guys.
Leonid takes 14. Silas takes 7.
Yep.
Okay.
Yarp.
That is the lair action done. It then goes to Silas. Leonid, you are on deck.
I love that you warding bonded me, but as Tallis takes like 60 something damage and I'm like taking
Wow,
7,
what a
I'm
selfish
just like
bastard.
whoosh.
I need to make sure that you don't die.
I
But it's fine for me
appreciate
to
that. Yes. So
I ain't married to you yet.
Silas will say, Leonid, lend me a hand. If she tries anything, stop it. And he's going to turn around. 8th level spell Sunburst has 60-foot radius. That's, I counted on the map, enough for all 3 pillars?
And everybody else within it.
I'm going to cast higher up.
Is it a sphere?
It is.
Okay, so...
How tall are the ceilings in here, I suppose?
The ceilings are not that high. You're talking 60 feet tall.
I can take it.
No, you
She
can't.
can't take it.
Ruthie, again, I don't want to show favoritism to players or NPCs or anything. But as I know your hit point total and I'm calculating how much damage you take, you can't take an 8th level sunburst.
I can't.
There's just fucking Drax over here. I can take it. He can't take it.
It will fucking
No, he
kill you.
can't.
Oh, okay. I think that there's a helpful little caveat, though. I can get the back 2 pillars. Even if I don't get the front one that's already partially damaged, we're all near the front pillars. None of us are back near the back 2 pillars. So if I cast it over there...
That one, yep.
What are you casting?
Sunburst.
Oh, burst, not beam.
No, Sunburst.
Yeah,
it's
I don't think
like
you would. I don't think you could
Sunbeam
survive.
on steroids.
I don't think you could survive a level 8 sunbeam either, Tallis.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
for the record.
I was just gonna say, if it was sunbeam, it's a straight line, so...
Yeah, which would be helpful. But, okay, so for the sake of...
So if you were to use
that.
the exact edge of this, you would. So the way that it bends, you would be able to get both pillars. Diabol will be within that bend, so you don't know if he's taking damage or whatever, but he will be within that bend if you want to get both pillars. So it's up to you if that's the route you want to take. But if it is, it's fine. Go with it.
That sounds like not my problem yet.
Do you want
I'm
to
gonna
risk
go ahead and
incinerating
cast-
Tallis' dad, who for all we know might be a decent guy?
Yeah, hey, you know what? He might be okay.
You know
He
what?
might be okay.
You know what, Tallis? You lived this long without a dad. You can go for a bit longer.
Yeah, I don't need a dad.
Right? I feel like there's something about demons dying off of their plane. They go back to it or something? Devils, I guess, in this case? I don't know.
I don't know if he's a full devil. I don't know what he
Well,
is.
if he survives this, he might
Really
get to
doesn't
find
sound
out.
like my problem.
It'll be fine.
Silas is gonna cast
Roll that damage.
Sunburst on those back 2 beams. It's technically a Constitution saving throw. Can they make those?
They fail.
Okay. Dice roller here. That is 42 radiant
42
damage.
radiant damage, which becomes
Doubled into
84.
84. Yeah.
Okay. And you're casting it on the ones towards the wall that you guys entered from.
Yeah, the ones that are there behind us.
Okay, so that doubles to 84. They crumble, crack, and shatter, but much like the one that is up on the top left, the base of them still remains.
Hey,
But you do an obscene amount of damage to them.
I mean,
That was
technically, if we kill
84,
my
yeah?
dad, like that
Yeah.
solves the problem too.
Thought we already killed your dad, to be honest,
Right.
but
So
apparently
did I.
we didn't kill
Sorry,
the actual
guys.
dad.
I wanted more
Listen,
parents than everyone else.
We have to kill the stepdad and the baby daddy. Both.
I am going to swap my starry form off the chalice
Uh-huh.
onto the archer, and I'm going to make a shot at the top left
The top left pillar?
pillar.
Okay.
Yeah, the base of that one behind Tallis's mom. So that is going to be An 18 to hit.
Would you look at that? Its AC is less than 18.
I expected it to dodge. Okay.
It dodge, ducks, dips, dives, and dodges to the best of its capabilities, but unfortunately it's not enough. Apparently in this world, if you can dodge a range, that does not mean you can dodge a ball.
I'm a good aim. 17 radiant damage gets doubled into
To 34.
34 radiant
The base
damage.
plate of the top left pillar cracks right down the middle, and you watch as the fiery, infernal power within it drains.
Ooh.
2 pillars down.
I'm gonna look to Tallis's mother and say, before you insist that it's my friend's destiny to die, you should know I rewrite destiny casually on the reg.
Ooh.
Damn!
You
Hello.
who claims it is my friend's destiny to die, you should know. I totally rewrite fate on the reg.
Yeah.
Love that shit. Because of that, as these cracks appear on her again, as she gasps in pain, she's going to turn and she's going to look towards you, Tallis, desperately. She's going to use a legendary action at the end of Silas's turn, try and take a stab at you, but she's going hectic, she is moving frantic at this point.
I'm gonna reaction Cosmic Wheel, subtract a d6 from whatever she rolls.
Subtract a d6 from whatever she rolls. I'm going to roll the d6 with it and subtract it.
Ben luck as well.
What's Ben's luck?
Ben luck 1d4 off of her roll.
1d4 away from her roll. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to take a picture of it, right? So the dice roll was a 17. The d6 was a 1. The d4 was a 3. So that becomes 13, which means that her attack to hit is still a 19.
Damn.
Disadvantage because of foresight.
No, she rolls at base.
She rolls at base because
Oh,
she has
that's
the
right. I
advantage.
keep forgetting. Cool.
Yeah.
We really tried.
Yep.
Oh, wait. Did Leonid use shield?
I can't because I already used my reaction.
It's okay. It's okay. Let her take her hit.
Let her take her hit. I'm sorry. How okay are you, Tallis?
I am not okay, but we will see.
Tallis, that's going to be 19 piercing damage on that one.
Okay.
Are you down?
I'm not down.
I hate high level math. I'm gonna get my phone and double check that math just to be sure, but I think I'm correct. Okay, so she has used now, by my count. Oh no, so her turn has been. So she has used one of her legendary actions on this turn, just so that I'm aware and I have track of that. Silas, that's the end of your turn with that legendary action. Goes to Leonid. Leonid, it's your turn. Jacek, you are on deck.
Alright.
Okay. Well, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds at a 6th level. Which is... That's 68, right?
6d8.
Okay. So
I
68.
thought you said 68, and I was like, "Whoa, that's a lot of health back."
No, not quite.
Yeah, so I believe Cure Wounds you're casting it at 6th level.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe it's an
And you
additional
add your
D8
modifier.
for every. I believe it's an
Yes,
additional
so-
D8 for every level above first level that you cast the spell, and you add your spell casting modifier to that.
Okay, so that's going to be 51. Wait, no, that's too much. Sorry, 41. My bad.
That's fine.
41. Because I'm a water elemental and I have aquatic rejuvenation, I think that's an extra d6. So 41 becomes 44. And then I'm going to use my bardic inspiration to copy that spell with my double, who's going to cast it again. Also on Tallis, so that's another 68. Which is... Tallis, what's your max health?
My max health is right now, because of the thing you did that gave us an extra 10 on top of it, 152. Otherwise, it's 142.
Okay, yeah. So that's 44...
You had me 15 HP away from dying, Bran.
Oh, that's not what I'm freaking out at. I didn't realize that your max hit points had been altered. That your original base is 10 hit points less than what your max that I saw was.
So that's 76. Bran, is my copy, they're not an elemental, right? They're kind of like a magical being, right?
They count as a construct.
Okay, so yeah, 76. Not bad.
So you get 76 hit points back, Tallis.
Okay.
That's what... Is it bonus action? It's bonus action to use the duplicate spell, right, Bran?
So it's bonus action to use your bonus action. Think of it as like a ranger's, like a Beastmaster Ranger. Your bonus action allows your construct to utilize its abilities.
Okay, cool. So yes, that's action, bonus action. That's going to end my turn. Don't think there's anything else I can do. So yeah, end of my turn.
At the end of your turn, she is going to use a legendary action to take a stab at Tallis. Dirty 20. Okay. That is 13 points of damage. And as she makes that pierce, Tallis, when she pulls the blade out, the blade is completely crimson now. Nothing dripping, it's like the blood has soaked into the blade completely. And she's going to look at it as if it's the most beautiful thing that has ever existed. Leonid, if that's the end of your turn, with that we go to Jacek after that legendary action. Jacek, that's you. Tallis, you're on deck.
So did we get all of the pillars at this point, or are they still somewhat
Two of the pillars are just bases left. The bottom left and bottom right, the ones closest to the door you came in.
They're still holding on, right? Because we hit them with...
They are just the bases.
Okay. So, I mean, at this point, can we just, like, hit her?
The bases are not completely destroyed.
When you say the bases, as in, like, the
bases are intact and still channeling power. But it is like...
Gotcha.
The most of the spires are destroyed. It's just these two, the bases...
We still have to actually, yeah.
It's like the tree trunk. Like, you know, like when you cut down a tree, the roots are still there because the trunk's there. It's like that.
Gotcha. So that's what I'm saying, is it seems that the majority of it's still doing what it needs to do.
Yes.
So then I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to get in range to the bottom right pillar. I guess we're... Oops, that's not what I wanted. We're just gonna try and blast this this pillar then. We're gonna attack it. First attack is a 26 to hit.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna hit.
We're gonna use a second level spell slot for Divine Smite. So it'll be a whopping 14 slashing damage. But then we're gonna get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total die 8 for Radiant. An additional 19 Radiant damage.
As you bring down the glaive again into it, pulling down on it to lift that base up, you hear a familiar crack, and it severs up again. The bottom right has been completely destroyed.
All right. How far can I get? So I already went 30. Let's see. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. I can get within 10 feet.
And with a glaive, you would be within
With a
range to
glaive, because I
attack.
would, yeah. So I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna go 55 to get within 10 feet of that bottom left pillar.
So, Jason, you leap over the remains, your hooves clattering along that marble as, embracing your satyr lineage, you are hopping like a
I
fucking...
forgot.
What? What did you forget?
No, between the satyr, I get an additional die 8 leap distance, but now I get the peerless athlete, so I get the distance of my long jumps and high jumps are increased by 10 feet. So I should have just been hopping around Baldur's Gate style.
Either way, you leap majestically, the hooves clattering against the marble, and you come within range of that last pillar's base at the bottom left.
Oh, I rolled a nat 1 for a 13.
A 13 will still
God.
hit.
With the nat 1, I still get to hit it?
So I don't do auto success or auto
Okay.
fail.
Alright.
Yeah, 13 is gonna hit.
I will gladly take that. I'm gonna pump a first level spell slot into that with another Divine Smite. So it's gonna be 16 slashing.
Okay.
Plus only 1, 2, 3, 4 die 8. Wow, on the 4 die 8, I still rolled an 18 compared to the 19 on 5 die 8.
Okay. The bottom left is also shattered and destroyed.
JC's gonna let out like a not quite raging, but excited to be able to help. Oh.
As you break this final base pillar, and you watch as that circle wrapped around Diabol burns, and he throws himself to his feet, his wings arc back, and he soars 20 feet into the air, flexing his muscles. You watch as the skin takes on a deeper reddish hue, his muscles bulge as his power flows back into his body, and he gives a Tallis, you notice your mother smile.
Oh, nuts. We fucked up.
And it goes to Tallis's turn. Because she does not have any legendary actions left. She used both of them.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Bran,
Yes.
can I insight check her?
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Like, so she's focusing on her, like, as far as the blade, and then the reaction to Diabold, like trying to figure out what the fuck is this bitch thinking.
Okay, make me an insight check.
Ooh, 31.
31.
Yeah.
She seems...
You can see it on D&D Beyond. Okay,
no,
sorry.
No, I trust you.
Okay.
She seems incessantly pleased that those pillars are destroyed.
Ooh.
Fuck. Having absolutely no idea what to fucking do at this point, she is just going to... I think her desperate act is just gonna be to throw a disintegrate at her mother.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh.
You know what? Hold on.
Hold on to it. I got an idea.
I'm thinking. I don't... Bran, can I do a called shot?
You'll roll at a disadvantage, but yes, you can. What would you like to do?
Does that put me at base since I have advantage?
No, called shots are always at disadvantage.
Okay. I want to use the whip
Okay.
to essentially, like, basically try and grab her arm, like the arm that she has the knife
Uh-huh.
in order to disarm her of that knife.
Okay, so you're trying to disarm her with that.
Yeah.
Okay,
And,
so again,
like, trap her.
It'll rely on what the D8 brings on the table when you roll. But by all means, you can roll it with disadvantage and see if you hit in the first place.
Okay. Oh! 23?
23 is going to hit.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
deal max damage immediately. So max damage with the whip
damage.
is...
16 plus 10, 26. 10 of that is slashing, 16 of that is necrotic.
Now roll me a D8. And this will determine if you do manage to disarm her.
A 7.
So a 7 is not disarming, I'm afraid.
Okay.
As you bring the whip down on her arm, you lash...
I am wrapping it too, though. Sorry.
complete-
Whether it disarms, sorry, yeah. Sorry.
Understanding. So as you lash it down, it wraps round her arm. You bring it down with so much force that you see the coil of the whip bite in deeper. Can you roll me an additional damage die?
Yeah, just the...
Just roll me whatever the damage die for the whip is, just an additional one.
Oh, okay.
You still add your modifier to it.
7.
7? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you deal an additional 7 damage to her, but it's not the disarm, I'm afraid. I'm really sorry.
No, it's okay.
Great idea to go for, but that's not what I was going to do.
Yeah.
There.
That's okay. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you finish, go ahead.
So that was my action. I have a couple so I have sorcery points left. I'm gonna bonus action, and I got her with the whip, so she's gonna kind of basically try and, like, I guess thematically pull the whip tighter, like closer to her, and sort of, I mean, they're close anyway, so she's gonna pull her and basically cast Disintegrate right in her face at the 7th level.
Okay.
And that is a dex save of 20.
Dexterity saving throw, and she is not using Diabols
Okay.
because the pillars are destroyed. Oh, that's not going to make it, I'm afraid. That's a 19.
Sweet. All of those dice. One of the dice is stuck. One of the dice is literally stuck.
I hate
It
when it
can't
does
roll.
that.
There we go. 79.
79 force damage.
Ooh.
Right in her motherfucking face.
So you blast at her, and it's excruciating as you grab, and she tries to angle her face away from it, but it's like Two-Face. Like, you know, the disintegrate takes away all of this here, but it does not kill her.
Yeah.
But she is like gasping, but the side of her face that's still intact has still got that manic grin on it.
Yeah.
So that was your bonus action with the quicken spell. Is there anything else that you would like to do, Tallis?
Nothing else I can do.
Okay. You've got the whip coiled round her arm.
Yeah.
So I'm going to count these attack rolls as disadvantage at this point. Okay?
Okay.
The first one does not hit.
I'm gonna use my reaction to subtract 6 from the next one, just at base.
Okay. So then the second one does not hit. The third one, with a total of 21 at disadvantage, is going to hit.
Yep.
As she manages to raise her hand.
No!
What?
Sorry, I was muted. Reaction, shield.
So shield at
+6 DC.
so
Plus
you,
six,
so
that
so you're
puts-
casting shield on Tallis.
Shield wings.
Platinum
+6
wings,
AC.
platinum wings, okay.
Yes.
So Tallis, your AC goes up, you watch these platinum wings come over you. The attack will still hit.
Ah!
Oh.
As she plunges the dagger into her own chest.
Fucking knew it.
Oh!
And as the dagger enters her chest, we are going to wrap this session there. And we will begin next session. Do you know what? No, we're not going to begin next session with that. What we're going to do is, we're going to go to an after credits scene there.
Uh-oh.
So I would like to reiterate, so obviously I looked at Tallis's max health before we did this until 152. And I was like, okay, that's Tallis's max hit points. I didn't realise there was a +10 on there because of laying it. Her attacks did a total of 144 damage to you.
Yep.
So she drained your blood.
Yep.
She has your blood and can sacrifice herself.
As she plunges this blade into her, everything goes silent. And you watch as the blood spills out from the wound, staining the white that she wears red. And then you see, like, the veins and sinew start to leak out. And almost like it's sprawling out like tendrils reaching for something. And she looks at you, Tallis, with this half disintegrated face, with this still half manic, zealous look on her face, and she says, "The blood is the answer. The blood is the door. The blood is what will bring her to rise." And then she staggers back. The blade drops from her hand, and you see the blade is now back to that dull grey. And then she looks at her hand as the blood starts to come out, and the veins and sinew wrap around her arm, coming up, and it becomes this bright red but beautifully manicured clawed hand. You watch as, like, her mouth knits together, forming just a formless mass of a face except for the eyes, which become completely red with a piercing white pupil. She starts to grow and sprout, and these wings unfold from her back, but it's like the wings build themselves from the veins and muscles in the back, forming almost like a macabre facsimile of feathers made from flaps of shredded skin and muscle. And then the song starts. Sweet. Like a falsetto aria sang to an empty theatre. As the blood singer rises once more.
Oof.
The beginning of the next session, we're going to go into a second round 2 of the boss fight with the blood singer. Thank you very much to everybody that came to see tonight's session, and thank you very much to my players for giving such a fucking stalwart performance. Every single fucking one of you. Phenomenal. If you like what you've seen here today, go and check out all of our social medias, where you can see all of the details for our other campaigns coming up, and all the details for new things we've got coming up. We have Welcome to the Academy starting very soon. There's going to be little snippets being dropped to give you hints about who might be involved in that and characters they might be playing. So do keep your eyes peeled. On top of that, if you want to check out the stuff I do, you can go and check me out on TikTok at Son of Asgard. I haven't done anything for a while. I have things filmed. I've just not been bothered to post them. I will get to it at some point. And do go and check all of our social medias at World Tree Quests, where you can see all the great and amazing things that we get up to here on our happy little World Tree. I'm going to pass over to my players now and let them plug anything that they might have in the works. Starting off with the one who's been most affected by today's session. Ruthie, anything you want to talk about?
I can't wait for my therapy session on Wednesday. After this.
Feel that.
That's it.
No, nothing? Okay. What about yourself, Gil? Anything for you at all?
Yeah, you can check out Loaded Dice Adventures on Mondays on Twitch. That's all one word, Loaded Dice Adventures. We have a Monday night campaign at 7:30 p.m. Central. A lot of fun. I'm trying to remember what we were just doing. Oh, we're going to go try and rob a bunch of dwarves from one of their sacred relics. We have a elf mama, like muscle mommy, leading us through what essentially is the Underdark. So come check that out. And hope we don't die to a whole bunch of Underdark shenanigans, or we can get a heist going. That's Loaded Dice Adventures, 7:30 p.m. Mondays on Twitch.
Fantastic. Thanks very much for that there. Gil, love to hear it. What about yourself, Charlie? Anything for you at all?
Nothing yet that I feel like I can officially talk about, but I signed and was it an NDA?
Did you do an NDA?
NDA, yeah. But keep your eyes peeled. Might have more to talk about later.
Fantastic. Keep your eyes peeled out for where you can see more of Charlie's lovely face. And what about yourself, Dan? Anything for you?
No, it's been suspiciously quiet.
Suspiciously quiet?
Suspiciously quiet. An NDA and suspiciously quiet. How
feels like a storm is coming.
Feels like it, doesn't it? Thanks very much for that, Dan. Thank you for that. With that being all of my players, and that's everything from me. Thanks for coming to see us today, folks. I've been your DM of Doom, Son of Asgard, or World Tree Quests here on Twitch. With me today, we have had Ruthless Rogue, we have had Big Gilly Styles, we've had Charlie 182.0, and we've had just Dan. From all of us here at World Tree Quest, good night, stay safe, please don't hate the DM because he planned a round 2, and also don't pull a finny. Good night, folks. Good night.